I like that. Let's look at Adobe. We talked about Adobe last week, actually, but we never got in. So Adobe, they have earnings. Let me switch to a candlestick. So when we talked about it, it was at 444. It was right here. So I think we messed up on this one by not entering early, right? Because it was right here. If you check last week's Zoom, you'll see, I think I even made a clip of it and posted it on Instagram. It was at 444, but we never entered. But depending on how they perform, it may still pop from here. So let's look at their previous quarters. They beat here. In March, they beat. December last year, they beat. September last year, they beat. But the thing you also have to look at is when they did beat, did the market jump, right? Because you want to form some sort of an opinion, right, based on prior price action. So over here, when they beat it, they beat here, it popped a little and it dropped and eventually it went up. And they've been beaten. Let me see when they missed. They haven't missed in a minute. So even if we go back to June 2023, which is last year, so for a whole year, they haven't missed earnings yet, right? Let's go here. March, they didn't miss. December of 2022, they missed. But what happened, right? Price still went up a little bit afterwards. Okay, let's see. Okay, before they missed, it dropped, but eventually came up. So price action wise, let me look at the weekly on Adobe. Let's look at daily, looks the same. Weekly, I think the weekly looked good. See, the weekly is a pin bar. And this is what I was talking about, the 2-bar reversals. Y'all remember the 2-bar reversals?
Yeah.
So basically, if you look at the weekly is forming a pin bar, right? Because if you stack them together, the green candle basically erased all this all the way up to here. So technically it has, it's more or less like a doji, to be honest with you. So um it looks bullish, all things being equal. Let me draw a line here to see if this is consistent, if it's respecting the slope, right? It looks like it is. You don't want to force it. If it fits, if it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. OJ style, right? Like, look, it's do you consider this a decent support? This weekly, do you consider where it's pivoting from a decent support based on the levels?
I mean, it turned to a resistance and a support. We could see, right? It's pretty strong. It bounced on it like twice. Then
Yeah.
it became
So
resistance.
basically, it was like this. It went here. We came up here. It broke it, right? I need to change the colors. And then it tested this level. This is back in 2021. We're looking at the weekly. So the weekly levels, if the weekly levels are strong, it's even better than, let's say, if you're doing like daily levels, right? So it went all the way up there, and then it dropped here, struggled a little bit, right? it became support. It struggled at this level, and then it broke through, made it further down here to the next level. Right, well, before it went, it stopped halfway here. And then it tried, and this was confirmation. So if you were bearish, this would have been your confirmation, right? Because the support broke and it tested it. It tested it, but it couldn't break. So now that support flipped to resistance. And then it made its way down. Then whatever happened here, I don't know. It blew through it. It didn't respect it, right? It didn't respect that resistance. So let's see, maybe something massive happened here for it to like plow through. Or let me switch it here. See how well it respected it. It tried a little, but yeah, the momentum was too strong. So it blew through it. But now it's back down to that level, right? It's back down to that level. So is it gonna hold or is it gonna go below? That's basically what we are looking at. I think it bounces up from here based on it touched it here, broke up, came down, retested, came down, went up, retested again. So let me see how it looks like on the 2-week. So this is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. If I switch here to a line graph, same thing, I can pretty much post my level here and it should respect, right? I mean, you could tweak it a little bit, but you see pivot, support, flipped, came, flipped, blew through, testing it again. So the question is it, do you think it's reliable? I think it's reliable. Right, but the only thing is we got earnings. So, but look at the 3 weeks. 3 weeks is really 3 weeks is really rejecting
I ain't got it
1
on
month.
TV.
That must be true and dope.
Oh, my mic on. Dang, my bad. What in the world?
So on the monthly, it's looking something like this, right? So if it beats earnings, I mean, what y'all think? So far, what y'all think?
I like Adobe.
Two eyes are better than one.
Yeah, I like Adobe.
Yeah, it looked good to me too.
Yeah, it's like it's not being forced. So, we just have to pay attention to the price action on, let's say, an hour and see. Because it looks we know that our bias is bullish. So now we have to wait. Like if we had looked at this earlier, like during the week, we could have, got it in somewhere here. We would have killed it. Because we would have already established that, okay, this is bullish. So we will come down to a lower time frame and only be looking for an entry, right? So we could have looked for something like a breakout like this. Because we've already established we want to go up. So on a lower time frame, we only trying to get an entry. We know our direction. We just looking for a good discount. So we could have done this, purchased it somewhere here and then rolled it all the way up here. We would have killed it, but it's still good. So Adobe is on there. Which other one? We got AVGO.